Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Time and Motion, and we had already done the topics distance, displacement, speed, and velocity. So today we shall start the topic acceleration. Acceleration, it is a vector quantity and is represented by small a. Okay? Acha. Suppose a body is moving with an initial velocity u, okay, and after a finite interval of time t, the velocity of the body becomes v. Initial velocity u, no need to join the initial position and final position. Suppose initially the body is moving with initial velocity u, finally and after a finite interval of time t, the body is moving with a final velocity v. Okay, consider that the final velocity v is greater than the initial velocity. That means the velocity of the body is increasing. Okay, so we can say that in time t, the increase in velocity of the body is v minus u, because v is greater than u. Clear? So in words we can write that in time t, the velocity of the body increases by v minus u. Clear? Apply unitary method. Therefore, in unit time means the magnitude of the time is 1 second. So in unit time, the velocity of the body increases by v minus u divided by t. Unitary method. Okay, this ratio v minus u divided by t means this term is defined as the acceleration of the body. So what is acceleration of a body? Acceleration of the body is the rate of increase in velocity of the body, or the increase in velocity of a body in unit time is known as the acceleration of the body. So if acceleration is represented by small a, then mathematically we can write that a is equal to v minus u divided by t. This is the mathematical form of acceleration of a body. Okay, so what is the definition? The increase in velocity of the body in unit time is known as its acceleration, or you can also write that the rate of increase in velocity of the body of a body is known as its acceleration. Clear? So acceleration in the numerator, v minus u is there, and in the denominator t is there. T means t represents the time. So we can write that acceleration of the body is equal to increase in velocity divided by time taken. Clear? So acceleration a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Now our next topic is just opposite to acceleration, or just reverse of acceleration, that is retardation or deceleration. Retardation or deceleration. It is also a vector quantity, and suppose it is represented by a prime with a vector sign. Okay. Same example, a body is moving with an initial velocity u. Okay. After a finite interval of time t, its velocity becomes v. Okay. In our previous case, we considered that the final velocity is greater than initial velocity, but here let us consider that the final velocity is less than initial velocity, which means u is greater than v. That means the velocity of the body is decreasing. Okay, so we can say that in time t, the decrease in velocity of the body is u minus v, because u is greater than v. So in words, we can write, let us write the sentence: in time t, the decrease in velocity of the body is u minus v. Initial velocity is greater than final velocity, so the velocity is decreasing. So in time t, the decrease in velocity is nothing but the difference between the initial velocity and the final velocity. Again, apply unitary method, that is, in unit time, the decrease in velocity of the body is u minus v divided by t. Okay, this term means this ratio of u minus v and t is known as the retardation or deceleration of the body. So what is the difference between acceleration and deceleration? In case of acceleration, the velocity of the body is increasing, and in case of deceleration, the velocity of the body is decreasing. So if a prime represents deceleration or retardation of the body, and if we get the mathematical form as u minus v divided by t as deceleration, so mathematically we can write that a prime, that is deceleration, is equal to u minus v divided by t. A prime is equal to u minus v divided by t. So what should be the definition of deceleration? The decrease in velocity of a body in unit time is known as its deceleration, or you can also say that the rate of decrease in velocity of a body, is known as its deceleration. The rate of decrease in velocity or decrease in velocity per unit time means in the numerator decrease in velocity is there, and in denominator time is there. So we can write that retardation or deceleration is equal to, in numerator, decrease in velocity divided by time. This is the relation, mathematical relation of mathematical form of deceleration or retardation of a body. Now we shall find the relation between retardation and acceleration of a body. So our next topic is the relation between acceleration and deceleration of a body, which means relation between acceleration, that is a, and a prime of a body. So let us suppose a, vector A, represents the acceleration of the body, of a body. Okay, means when the velocity of the body is in increasing order, and suppose A prime is the retardation of the body. A prime is retardation of the body. Okay, so what is the mathematical form of retardation? A prime is equal to initial velocity minus final velocity divided by time t. So u minus v divided by t, decrease in velocity. We can write it like this: a prime, take the negative sign as common, minus of v minus u divided by t, okay, which implies a prime is equal to, what is the name of the term, v minus u by t? It is nothing but the acceleration of the body, so we can write that minus of a. Why? Since a, that is acceleration of the body, is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time t. Since a is equal to v minus u divided by time t. So this is the required relation between deceleration and acceleration of the body. Okay. So deceleration is nothing but the acceleration of the body with a negative sign. So deceleration or retardation is also known as negative acceleration. So we can conclude that retardation or deceleration is also known as negative acceleration, is known as negative acceleration. This is the relation between deceleration and acceleration of a body. Since acceleration and retardation both are vector quantities and deceleration is nothing but acceleration with a negative sign, which means we can say that the direction of acceleration and the direction of deceleration both are opposite to each other. Clear? Our next topic is units of acceleration and retardation. So next topic is units of acceleration and retardation. Units of acceleration and retardation. So what is acceleration? We had already done that acceleration is nothing but increase in velocity divided by time. So in the numerator, velocity is there. Increase in velocity means the unit of increase in velocity is same as the unit of velocity. So in numerator we can write velocity divided by time. We had already done in our previous class that velocity is defined as the displacement small s with a vector sign by time t. Velocity is a vector quantity small v with a vector sign. Okay, so we can write that acceleration is equal to velocity by time t. Acceleration is equal to velocity is displacement by time. So instead of velocity v, we can put small s, displacement divided by time t. Another t is there in the denominator, so multiplied by 1 by t. So acceleration A is equal to s by t square. This is the relation between acceleration and the displacement of a body. Acceleration is equal to displacement divided by time square. So when we are trying to find the units of acceleration, we shall follow this mathematical form of acceleration. That means the relation between acceleration and the displacement and time of the body. So units of acceleration, at first we shall discuss about the CGS unit of acceleration. So before finding the units, we shall first write down the mathematical form of acceleration in terms of displacement and time, s by t. Okay, if we consider only the magnitude of acceleration and displacement, then we can write that acceleration a is equal to displacement divided by time t. Number 1, in CGS system. In CGS system, what is the unit of displacement? Centimeter. What is the unit of, dt square. What is the unit of time? Second. So CGS unit of acceleration is centimeter divided by second square, that is centimeter per second square. That is the CGS unit of acceleration. Number 2, in SI system, same as before, follow this formula, mathematical formula of acceleration, displacement by time square, displacement CG, SI unit of displacement meter, SI unit of time is second, so SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Meter per second square, that is meter per second square. Now what is the unit of deceleration or retardation in CGS system and SI system? We have already seen that relation between deceleration and acceleration is same with the negative sign. So if CGS unit of acceleration is centimeter per second square and SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square, then the CGS unit of deceleration will be same, that is centimeter per second square, and SI unit of deceleration is also same, that is meter per second square. So units of acceleration and deceleration in CGS system and SI system are same respectively. CGS unit of acceleration is centimeter per second square. CGS unit of deceleration is also centimeter per second square. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square, and SI unit of retardation is same, that is meter per second square. Okay, so we shall do some numerical sums by using the mathematical form of acceleration and deceleration. Before that, before doing some numericals, we shall discuss about a new topic, that is equations of motion. Equations of motion or rectilinear motion with uniform acceleration. Rectilinear motion with uniform acceleration. Rectilinear motion with uniform acceleration means, we have already done what is rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion means if a body is moving with a straight line. So in this topic we are going to find some equations, means some relations between the initial velocity, the final velocity, the time taken by the body to acquire the final velocity, and the acceleration or retardation of a body. So we shall find some equations, and those are known as equations of motion. But the conditions are, the body is moving in a straight line and the acceleration is uniform, with uniform acceleration. Now what is uniform acceleration? We have done in our previous topic that acceleration is nothing but increase in velocity in unit time. If this term remains constant with time, if acceleration m is this ratio v minus u by t remains constant with time, then the acceleration of the body is known as uniform acceleration, means the body is moving with an acceleration that is uniform. V minus u divided by t, this ratio is constant with time. So what are the conditions of the body? What are the conditions of motion of the body? The body is moving with a straight line with uniform acceleration. Then if a body is moving with a straight line with uniform acceleration, means the initial velocity is u. After a finite interval of time t, its final velocity becomes v. Time is t and the uniform acceleration of the body is a, then we get some equations known as equations of motion. Those are, and these equations represent the relation between u, v, t and a, and another relation is there that the body is covering traversing a distance s in the time t. So during the time t, the body covers a distance s. Initial velocity of the body is u. Final velocity of the body is v. V is greater than u. Then the body is moving with an acceleration a, and the acceleration is uniform. The body is moving in a straight line. So we get some equations. Number one, v is equal to u plus at. Okay, one thing let me tell you that we are taking only the magnitudes of velocity and acceleration. We are not considering the directions now. Okay, so v is equal to u plus at. Number 2, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Number 3, as equal to ut plus half at square. These three relations or these three equations are known as equations of motion of a body which is moving in a straight line with uniform acceleration. And if you notice these three equations, you can see these three equations represent the relation between the relation among the final velocity, initial velocity, uniform acceleration, time, and the distance traversed by the body during the finite time t. Okay, now if the body is moving with a uniform retardation or uniform deceleration, which means the velocity of the body is decreasing, then instead of positive sign in these equations, we shall use the negative sign. So these equations, these three equations are only applicable for a body when the body is moving with uniform acceleration. Okay, acceleration. If the body is moving with uniform retardation or uniform deceleration, then we get the equations of motion, and those are number 1, v is equal to u minus at, because deceleration is known as negative acceleration. Okay, number 2, v square is equal to u square minus 2as. Instead of positive sign, here we are using negative sign. And number 3, as equals to ut minus half at square. So these three equations are only applicable for a body when the body is moving with uniform retardation. Uniform retardation. Okay, so if the body is moving with uniform acceleration, then we get the three sets of equation. V is equal to u plus at, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, and s equals to ut plus half at square. If the body is moving with uniform retardation or uniform deceleration, then we get the equations of motion. Those are v is equal to u minus at, v square is equal to u square minus 2as, and s equals to ut minus half at square. So in general, we can write the equations of motion of a body. Equations of motion of the body, that is the relation between u, v, t, a and s, as v is equal to u plus minus at, v square is equal to u square plus minus 2as, s equals to ut plus minus half at square. So these three set equations represent the relation between a relation among the final velocity, initial velocity, acceleration or deceleration of the body, time t, and the distance traversed during the interval t. So if the body is moving with acceleration, we shall use the positive sign. If the body is moving with uniform deceleration, then we shall use the negative sign. So these are the three general equations of motion of a body which is moving in a straight line with uniform acceleration or retardation. And always remember these three equations are applicable for the body when the body is moving with a straight line. Clear? Now, suppose this is surface of earth. Okay? And surface of earth, this one is the center of earth. So we know that gravitation, the gravitational pull or gravity is present here. That means the body, that means the earth attracts each and every material body towards its center. Consider a body of finite mass is freely falling from a height h in the downward direction, in the vertically downward direction. So definitely the body is moving in a, with a straight, moving in a straight line. Okay, since the external force that is acting on the body is nothing but the gravitational pull of earth or gravity, so definitely the body will move with with a uniform acceleration, and that acceleration is nothing but acceleration due to gravity small g. Why? Because the external force that is acting on the body is gravity, and since the body is moving with since the body is moving in the downward direction due to the application of gravitational pull of earth, so the acceleration with which the body is moving is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so if the initial velocity of the body is u, the final velocity of the body is v, time taken by the body to acquire the final velocity v starting from its initial velocity u is t, acceleration due to gravity is g, and the distance traversed by the body during time t is h, because the body is falling from a certain height h. Then we get the equations of motion for the freely falling body as number 1, v is equal to u plus gt. In our previous case, we saw v is equal to u plus at. Instead of u, here we use acceleration due to gravity g, because the body is moving with uniform acceleration, that is acceleration due to gravity. So first equation is v is equal to u plus gt. Number 2, v square is equal to u square plus 2gh. Previously we had seen that v square is equal to u square plus 2as. A is acceleration. Instead of acceleration, here we are using g, that means acceleration due to gravity. As is the distance traversed during the time t. Here the distance is nothing but the height from which the body is falling. So instead of s, we shall use h, the height from which the body is falling. Number 3, h is equal to ut plus half gt square. Previously, we had seen that s equal to ut plus half at square. Same as before, s means distance traversed during time t. Here the distance is the vertical height h. A is the acceleration. Here the acceleration is acceleration due to gravity small g. So instead of s, we are using h. So these are the equations of motion for a freely falling body. Freely falling body means the body is falling vertically downward direction. Now suppose the direction of motion of the body is reversed, which means we are throwing the body in a vertically upward direction. We are throwing a body of finite mass in a vertically upward direction. So if this is the position of the body is moving in vertically upward direction. So at this instant, when the body is near the surface of Earth, its initial velocity is u. Final velocity at this position, in this position, is v. The height, vertical height of the body from the surface of Earth is h. Then we can say that since the body is moving in upward direction, so definitely the force with which the earth is pulling the body and the direction of motion of the body both are opposite to each other, because gravitational pull or gravity is always directed towards the center of earth. Direction of motion of the body is upward direction. Both are oppositely directed, so the body is moving with uniform retardation or uniform deceleration. Okay, so for uh, this type of motion, when the body is moving with uniform deceleration in the vertically upward direction, then the equations of motion of the body are v is equal to u minus gt. Instead of plus g, we shall use here the minus g, negative sign. For the second equation, we are using v square is equal to u square minus 2gh, and in the third equation, we are using h equals to ut minus half gt square. So when the negative sign is applicable, when the body is moving in vertically upward direction with the uniform acceleration g, and the value of g is same as the value of acceleration due to gravity on Earth's surface. Clear? Now, in general, we can write the equations of motion for a body which is either moving in vertically downward direction or vertically upward direction. The equations of motion for the body are v is equal to u plus minus gt, v square is equal to u square plus minus 2gh, and h equals to ut plus minus half gt square. That means in general we had used v is equal to u plus minus at, v square is equal to u square plus minus 2as, and s equals to ut plus minus half at square. And in general, for a freely falling body or a body which is moving vertically upward direction against the gravitational pull of earth, then the equations of motion of the body are v is equal to u plus minus gt, v square is equal to u square plus minus 2gh, and h equals to ut plus minus half gt square. So when we shall use plus sign when the body is moving in the downward direction, means for a freely falling body. When we shall use negative sign when the body is moving vertically upward direction against the gravitational pull of earth. Similarly, for the second equation, we shall use positive sign for the freely falling body. We shall use the negative sign for the body which is moving vertically upward direction. For the third equation, we shall use positive sign for a freely falling body which is moving in downward direction. We shall use the negative sign when the body is moving in vertically upward direction against the gravitational pull of earth. That means against the gravity. No need to do the proof of these equations. Only study these equations, memorize these equations. We shall do some numerical sums based on these equations, equations for the rectilinear motion of a body which is moving with uniform acceleration or deceleration. So in our next class, we are going to discuss the numericals based on these equations of motion. Those we have done today, and then after that we shall start the new topic. So yeah, that's all for today. We shall stop here. I hope you all have understood today's discussion. Thank you everybody. Bye.